video, I am going to briefly explain the process of completing the convenio with your company, which is a requirement of the Innovation Social Change work, especially now we're in the process of you actually developing your idea. You have your own ISC, and now you're bringing it to either a company or organization you're going to partner with, or a individual professional sponsor. And part of that partnership requires this convenio. The convenio is really just a document that ensures that we communicate to the company or to the professional sponsor our responsibilities on our end as on the school as far as liability goes, which is definitely less this year since things are going to look obviously much different, but we're still require the convenio to be signed as sort of a just acknowledgement that there is some adult or business or organization who is supporting you in this work. So how do we get the convenio with your professional sponsor signed? You are responsible, you and your group are responsible for scheduling a meeting with the business, with the organization, or with that individual person who you want to be your professional sponsor to now present to them or pitch to them your ISC proposal. You have it clear in your head. You all just had to turn in proposals with very detailed objectives and a systems analysis as to why this was a good idea. So you have the information. It's now your job to put together a good presentation to pitch it to them, which is what our next few classes are going to be on, how some different strategies for putting together a good presentation. You will have from March 17th till April 9th to have this meeting. So that is this week until the week after spring break. So you have the whole week after the spring break as well. This meeting can be virtual. It can be done through Zoom. And if you have a meeting during school days, because that's just the time that somebody in the business or organization can meet with you, you are allowed one excused absence to have this appointment, but you're not excused from the work. So if you are missing half a day of school because you have a Zoom meeting with the representative of an organization who's going to support you in your ISC, or with the professional sponsor that you want to work with you, you are allowed to have an absence to take that meeting. However, you're not excused from the work that you missed. You're still responsible for making up that work. Other things to note about getting this convenio signed. When you meet with your business or organization, you are responsible for acquiring information from them to fill out the important data in the convenio. So you need to make sure that you let them know, you explain to them, you can send it to them via email. If it is a virtual meeting, if it's in person, you'll bring a printed copy and you'll let them know this is just to support. This is just to make sure that our school communicates our responsibilities, as well as explains some of the things around, you can't be contracted for work, it's no remunerado, things such as that. You obviously give them enough time to look over it. However, you are responsible for making sure that if they are willing to be your professional sponsor, you get this information here, which I'm going to go back to the slideshow. And it looks like this, where you're getting their name, their cédula, and if they are representing a company, so you're working with an organization and this person that you're pitching to is the representative of the company, the name of the company with the name. If it is not a company, if it's just a single person, then you could just put their name, their cédula, and then this can stay blank. So going back here, it is really crucial that you get that information in that meeting. So you're not just explaining your idea, but you get the name of the professional sponsor, as well as the cédula and all those things to fill it out in the convenio. If after that initial meeting, the sponsor is already willing to sign at this point because they're comfortable with your idea, they want to support it, they're comfortable with the convenio, please have them sign, because then you're done. You bring in the copy of the convenio with the signature, I get it signed by Miss Ruth, and you're completely done with that process. This is where they would sign, even though it says la empresa, it's or asesor profesional. They would just sign here and put the date here. Now, students will return the convenio filled out so Ms. Ruth can sign it by April, that's the wrong date, by April 12th, which is the Monday after the week after we return from spring break. So you have that whole week, and then the Monday after, you have to have the convenio turned in. Remember that if your sponsor is willing to sign at this point, please have them sign. However, it has happened that your sponsor didn't want to sign in that first meeting. They maybe want to meet with me. Sometimes they just have some clarifications about the nature of this project. Sometimes they're more comfortable. We've had a situation where the company was just far more comfortable having Ms. Ruth sign first before they signed. Why that is, I don't know, but it has happened. It is very rare, but it has happened. If that is your case, then you'll be given a little bit more additional time where you say, okay, here's the company, here's their information. However, they want to meet with somebody in the ISC team, or they want to have Ms. Ruth sign. We'll make sure that happens, and then you're given a little bit of extra time till April 20th to get the document back to them so that they can actually sign it. If you do not meet these deadlines, if you do not meet the April 12th deadline, which is at least minimum getting the name and cédula number of the person who's going to be your professional sponsor, your project, your group is no longer eligible for an outstanding. Let's say you meet that, but then you don't get the signature, and even if the time is extended till April 20th because you got their information, but they wanted Ruth's signature first, and they get that, and then you don't bring me back the signed contract, you are once again no longer eligible for an outstanding. So ideally, in most cases in previous years, folks are turning everything in on this first deadline because companies were comfortable signing in that first meeting. If that's not the case for you, then this is what it looks like as you bring it back. I sometimes have met with companies or professional sponsors, or they just want Ruth's signature first. Sometimes that's what happens. So again, the 12th, so this is the week of spring break. You have this whole other week too, to try to have a meeting, whether it's virtual or in person, to pitch and present your idea, to bring them the convenio and bring it with their sponsor information, and possibly, best case scenario, a signature by April 12th. If for some reason you can't get the signature by the 12th, this week will give you some extra time to either, for them, they want to have a meeting with someone on the ISC team, they want Ruth's signature, we'll make sure that that happens, and then you have till the 20th to turn in the convenio signed. Some frequently asked questions. Can I accept a digital signature? Yes. This was even asked previous to COVID times. Yes, you can get a digital signature, which means that you would send them over a copy of the Word document and they would input their digital signature. They would send it back to you and you would print it. Where do you turn this in? You print it and you bring it to the high school office before April 12th. We need a printed physical copy with the signature. If absolutely no one in your group is coming to campus, if this is just not a single person in your group is on campus between March 17th and April 12th, you can email it to Alisa. You can email it to me, alisaperez@columbus.edu, and I will print it, but please do not do that option unless you're absolutely certain that no one in your group is coming to campus. Please try to make sure that you print it and you physically bring it to campus if that is a possibility, and turn it into the high school secretaries. What happens if you do not get a company or professional sponsor? This isn't an option. You are required to have a company or professional sponsor. So if you are struggling with that or feeling confused by that, please seek support from your ISC teacher as soon as possible.